All right, hi everybody. Joe Goering. I'm trying to do both technology and we've got a couple of guests that are with us. I'm going to let you guys introduce yourself, but I am going to at least say, Patricia, welcome to our ATS Live.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Yep, Bradley.
Thank you.
So we're waiting for a couple of folks get on here. Usually it takes a couple of minutes for the viewers to start coming on and participating a little bit. And then we also have a driver by the name of Austin. Now, Austin is a driver that has actually attended one of our ATS Live Ask Us Anything events a couple of weeks ago before he came on board. So I see a couple of people starting to join us right now. But frankly speaking, we've been very committed to this ATS Live Ask Us Anything. Our ultimate goal is to have a lot of diversity in all of the different things about when you guys are making choices about joining a new trucking company, of what can you believe? What are the programs really all about? So we've spent a lot of time talking about our pay packages. We've spent a lot of time talking about contractor services. We've had our safety department come on board and talk through our lytics cameras and accident mitigation. So today, we've got a number of drivers that completed their orientation just about an hour and a half ago, right?
Yes, sir.
And so what I'm pleased about is I've got one driver that's on his way back here with his truck. So Trish, you go by Trisha, you said, right?
Yes, sir.
So Trisha is a rehire of ours. She came back through orientation. She originally joined us in 2016.
Yes, sir.
And then you had to go on medical in 2020, right?
Yes, sir.
And then I've got Bradley, who's been with us also since 2017 as a company driver with us. And Bradley has just moved up and kind of went through the original transfer process to where kind of talking a little bit about our entire career path options that you have. So Bradley's going to be switching from our company side, getting into our lease program. And what lease program did you get into today?
I had to go with the 4-year lease since I was a company driver.
So you're on the long-term lease?
Yes, the long-term lease, the 4-year.
Okay, which one did you do?
I got the 2-year.
The 2-year with the
Yes, sir.
completion on it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. And then we've got a gentleman by the name of Austin, and Austin actually joined us on a number of our previous Facebook Lives, and it was one of the reasons why he was here in orientation. So Austin is a brand new driver. Like I said, he's coming around the corner. He's going to be a couple of minutes late to this. But again, the entire, we're going to spend about 30 minutes. My goal is to really talk about the orientation and the recruiting process. And frankly speaking of, I'm going to be talking to both of you because you guys have gone through this originally years ago.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And what I love about it is that you guys are still here, almost 5 years later. So this is a great thing.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to probably start with you, Tricia. So
That's
when you first came to ATS in 2016, really going to, how did you hear about ATS back in 2016 that made you come here?
Somebody referred me. I don't remember who, but somebody referred me to ATS, and I've been here ever since, except for when I got sick.
Okay, and it's all been over the road, correct?
Southeast Regional.
Okay, you're in the Southeast Regional. Okay,
Yes, sir. I
fantastic.
did do pad wrap too for a while.
Over the road pad wrap?
Yes, sir.
Okay, come on in, Austin.
He's changing.
Oh, okay. All right,
We're
no,
leaving.
no problem at all. Thank you so much. So when you first came on board, how was it for you from when you made that very first phone call into recruiting? Basically, what you were told by your recruiter, you accepted and to attend our orientation. How was that whole process from what the recruiter told you to where coming to orientation and what actually ended up happening? How was that experience for you?
It was spot on. Robbie told me everything from the year leases, either a year lease, 2-year lease, where we'd be staying, how we'd get here, what ATS pays, just a little bit of everything, but there was no BS involved, It was all straight talk.
Hey, come on in, Austin. We're live right now, but I told everybody you were busy kind of getting your truck, so come on over and seat right next to me, all right?
Someone already commented saying that you're slow.
Oh yeah, that's David.
That's
What's
all
up,
right.
buddy?
Hey, you guys. Good seeing y'all. So we're kind of in the middle right now, Austin. So you're the only driver in here that is brand new to Anderson Trucking. So like I said, for me, it's kind of cool that we got Tricia coming in as a rehire, we got Bradley coming in as a transfer. It kind of shows the different stages of how our process goes. So Tricia's kind of telling her story. Do you remember back in 2016 what stood out to you the most about how Anderson did their orientation, the culture, the people, the engagement from the fleet managers, the ownership, and all of that? Any memories of that?
Everything was very thorough. I can remember Mr. Anderson. His jokes are always pretty funny, you know, he's a good man. They have helped me in the past too, when I got stuck in a pickle one time, where I had to get home. They did help me out, because I didn't have the money when I got ill. Fleet managers are great. You meet them and they ask you what they expect of you, you know, and you go from there. I mean, Mark St. Germain was my fleet manager for all those years. And when I met him, he made me feel like I was family. And the whole ATS company makes you feel like you're family.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
That's important.
Yes, sir.
Bradley, how about you?
Well, I did my orientation down in, Gary, kind of still called Porter Gary, because it's in the same area. But, I filled out my application when I was getting ready to haul a Coca-Cola load for Swift. Sent in the application, then I left the yard. About not even a mile down the road, I get a call from, I believe it was Nicole. And I'm like, geez, that was quick. And then she told me everything. And then I asked if I could bring my girlfriend down at the time. And they said, yeah, she could come. And then I thought I was gonna do my orientation here at St. Cloud, because I do live here in Minnesota. So, they rented me a car, drove down to Gary. It was a great experience. A lot better than the company that I did work for. I get paid more here, and that's why I'm deciding to go to lease to make more money.
Yeah, the pay is great.
Okay, well, yeah, and where I'm a little bit spoiled with the two of you is you guys are coming on board with a history with us.
Yes.
And so what's really neat is number one, and I'm going to probably come back, and if you decide you want to share a little bit about why you left and coming back, I'm going to leave that up to you. But again, with you, Bradley, showing that you've got that career path and that you're not stuck in a particular pigeonhole. And a lot of the past live sessions that we've done, we talk about, we try to keep it open. We got flatbeds, we got vans, we got company, we got lease, we got heavy haul. And we want to make sure that we're making sure those options are out there for our drivers, because what might be good for you today might not be good for you tomorrow. Or you might have a limitation today to where you want to pull vans, but hey, now I'm ready to go start, throwing tarps and throwing straps, and I'm ready to start doing a little more physical, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I got it. I respect that. So I'm going to turn it to you real quick. So first off, do you have your breath back from the truck?
Yes.
You happy with your truck?
Yes. Oh yeah.
So I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. So first off, how did you come about finding Anderson?
David Elvers.
Okay, so that's why he's watching.
Yeah.
Right?
I told him and Turk.
So
Like, hey, Joe told me I'm gonna be on ATS Live. Look out for it, because Turk watches it all the time. So does David.
yeah. Well, you guys, that's what this whole thing is about. And can I ask you? So the previous sessions of this that we've done, this ATS Ask Us Anything, did it? What was your biggest impression moment of since you've got here? What stood out about ATS? And the nice thing, guys, we haven't talked at all before this. We're just doing this ad hoc.
So far, my biggest impression is it does seem like family. From meeting my fleet manager today, even though it was just on the phone due with the whole COVID thing, but we've talked on and off throughout the day, because my truck had problems from the get-go. We've sorted that out. He's working on getting me back home so I get my stuff. They're understanding. Even with recruiting, it was a miracle that I got here, honestly. I wasn't even supposed to be here till July, and I got here earlier because operation and safety both said, okay, we'll take a chance with you. So that whole experience.
I think you were like about a month short, something like that, right?
Yeah, and it was just rookie stuff that I did with Warner. I spoke to Boulder.
Hey, you guys do me a favor. What one game rule I didn't set on the front? we try not to use any of the competitors' names.
Oh, my apologies.
No, we're not here to bash anybody else. We're here to tell everybody about who ATS is and what you can expect here. So just, that's the one thing I'll ask, is we consider them all friendly competitors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're not here to bash anybody. We're here to
Well,
simply.
ATS is better.
Okay, well, thank you.
So far.
That's what we're hoping
And
for.
I hope it stays that way. But just from talking to John, the recruiter, who David put out on the app,
Yep.
hey, there's his driver. They reached out to me, and we talked, and we got things situated.
Good.
So, and then I brought another friend, Turk. He's coming in on the 28th.
Turk, so you're hearing good things? You go ahead and, first off, thanks for the muscle. I ain't got quite that for you yet, but, yeah, no, you've been really fun in class. So any disconnects? So I know you were referred in by one of our drivers. Anything from your recruiter from when you got here? So you're now done, you're certified, you've gone through orientation, you've gone to every part of who we are. Was there any disconnects throughout the process?
No, once any questions I had for John when I got here, I shot him an email, and he was quick to respond back. So really none.
Okay.
I mean, everyone's been, and anytime I had a question, it was always a message right back, or directly, or if they didn't have an answer, they got back to me later.
Any inconsistencies?
No.
Was what you were told was going to happen?
Everything from what David, from what John had told me, has happened.
Awesome.
So,
What was unique was there anything unique about how we do our orientation versus past orientations you've been to?
yes, I've flown before, but not the way I did this time. It's always been connected flights, and when I told John concerns of leaving out on a Sunday, I want to go to church with my family and stuff, immediately set a later flight for a direct flight here. I've never had an experience like that. It's usually, well, this is what we have available.
Right.
So it was right off the bat working with me.
Well, and you guys, one of the things I want to really highlight, so again, these ATS lives, and first off, I failed to do this, but usually I like to start these out right away. I usually don't have this many guests, and I'm not doing this by myself. We just didn't have enough chairs for everybody, so I'll give my other recruiters the night off. But we like to highlight what we think we do differently. So number one, we're not going to be that company that puts you on a Greyhound. The only way you earn a Greyhound is if you did something that you didn't tell us the truth about, and I got to send you home. So that'll be very upfront about. Second thing is, so it's either a rental car or a flight, whatever you guys are most comfortable with.
Right.
Obviously, the nation knows that car rentals have been really tight for you lately, so we've been flying the majority of our drivers up because finding cars has been tough. But making sure that you guys know that you've got your own hotel room when you're done with orientation,
Yeah, too.
you've got some
Nice.
privacy, right?
Yes.
That was my favorite, actually, going back, is not having to bunk with somebody else.
Yeah.
I had told Turk, I said, yo, you're not even bunking with anyone else. This is amazing.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we're glad that matters, because not a lot of people talk about it, and it does cost more money. But listen, we got one opportunity to do this right with you guys. So of course, talking through how we get you up here, having you have some privacy. We encourage companions to come. I'm a huge believer that if you're making a decision, that your spouse or whoever your partner is, whatever it might be, that if they're part of your life and it's going to be part of that decision, we want them to be actively involved in the onboarding, because they're equally as important to all of us. So all the spouses at home that are going to be without you guys for periods of time, we want them to be very comfortable in the company you're coming on board with as well. So
Plus another thing too is ATS lets you have time to put your stuff in the truck. They don't push you. They give you time to get ready. So we graduated class today. We'll be out on the road sometime tomorrow.
Well, I know I am. I already got my loads. I just have to finish transferring my stuff from my old truck to my new truck. So about 3/4.
I feel you.
I'm about 3/4 of the way done.
well, and you guys, the bottom line is the freight has never been better. I think you guys have been hearing even from the drivers in the drivers lounge and so forth of the settlement checks that our folks are getting right now is second to none.
Another thing too about ATS drivers, they're always there to help people.
Mm-hmm.
Either other ATS drivers or other drivers. I've noticed that about them.
So that's a great point, and I will tell you. So I hear this from our customers all the time, but they say that when an ATS truck pulls in, it's almost like thank God. And we do believe when we say that we believe that we're hiring the top 5% of the drivers that are out there in the industry.
Yes, sir.
We do that because of the standard of our customers and our hiring guidelines. I think all of you probably felt you kind of went through the grueling portion of this. of, oh my God, what else are you gonna try to find to disqualify me? But realistically, a lot of this stuff is because it's what our customers require.
Right.
The safety records, anything that happens on your PSP, moving violations, preventable accidents, all those matter. So, anything else that you guys kind of feel would be important for somebody who's considering ATS to know about your experiences, whether it's coming back, whether it's the opportunities that you've got internally, or just your initial experience from you?
Use my name.
Huh?
Use my name.
Yeah, use my name, yeah, use all that.
I would say that open communication with recruiters and people in orientation, because that's what I had, and it's been the best experience orientation-wise for me. So
Awesome, thank you for
And
that.
then plus keeping communication with your driver managers, I mean,
yeah,
they're your backbone, and if they can't help you, I'm pretty sure they'll find somebody else that can.
Well, and you guys, really quick, so we call this ATS Ask Us Anything. We got a couple of questions. So Chris, you asked the question, you want to know how fast you get to heavy haul from starting on the regular flatbed side. So let's say you're a brand new flatbed driver and you've been pulling van, you've been pulling reefer, you've been pulling tanker, whatever it might be, but you've never done the open deck type work. You start out as a class 4. So when we talk about career paths, a class 4 is somebody brand new to open deck trailing. You get trained to be able to pull loads up to 10 feet wide. And then basically you go from a class 4 to a class 3, a class 3 to a class 1, a class 1 to a class 1A. Those are 4 steps. So basically what that is from 10 feet wide to 12 feet wide to 14 feet wide. We keep moving you up slow, a little at a time. I'm going to say if I took it over the span of my 31 years here, I'm going to probably say maybe 2 years. We've had some folks that have done it less. We've had some folks that it's taken them 3 or 4 years. Sometimes it's the freight conditions. Do we have a tremendous amount of overdimensional freight that's out there? But I don't know of another company that can grow you from a 5-axle combination to a 19-axle combination to where that bridge of a career path, that's a long bridge. And, listen, when I get to hand out, awards to folks that have been with us for 30 years and they've got 3 million miles with us without leaving, that's the kind of stuff that excites me. And I think all of you guys heard me on my first day when I did my welcome, is that I'm not looking to rent a driver. I'm looking for folks that are going to be with us for 5 years or greater.
Right.
And that's what it's all about for us. So, Chris, I hope that answers your questions. You guys, if we don't get to your questions, but when this is over, we monitor all the questions and we will personal message you. We'll respond publicly so everybody can see it, but we'll reach out to you personally if by some chance I missed something. Okay. So Dale, you're out there too as a former lease driver. That was the best company I ever drove for. Thank you very much.
Why'd you leave?
Yeah, well, Dale, so Tricia's asking you why you left. Now, there's always a lot of reasons, and if you're capable of coming back over the road, we'd definitely love to hear from you. So,
Use my name.
and Robbie, you're funny, Trish. Hey, Robbie, thanks for being online with me. Robbie is one of my senior recruiters that I told him that I was solo tonight and I didn't want to fall behind on the questions. So, what's the number for claims? Andy, I don't have a clue, but I will give you this number. You call 320-255-7400. That is the main front desk. We got 800 numbers too, but it doesn't matter with cell phones anymore. And just let them know that you're asking for the claims department. So I can at least give you the number to the front desk. Turk, he's your buddy, right?
yeah,
You see his comment?
yeah.
Okay. Anything you want to comment on there?
Yeah, that's been my best friend here. So
Well, he
trouble.
says thanks for something.
What's that? Okay,
probably
good.
with Robbie.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, like I said, Robert, you're doing a great job. So Kelly, how you doing there, young lady? Is there an amount of time rehires can be gone and come back without having to go through orientation again? So that's a great question. So I'm going to update you guys on a couple of things. So first off, if you're gone less than 30 days, you're probably coming in for about a day. It's for paperwork only. You've got to get an updated DOT pre-employment drug and alcohol screening. We've got to update some paperwork so you can get in and out within about a day. If you're gone 30 days to 6 months, it's basically a 2-day orientation. But if you're gone 6 months or more, you've got to come back for the full orientation. But the coolest part, and I'm guessing you found out about this coming back, Trish, because we just made this change probably about a month and a half ago, is if you're transferring or if you're coming back as a rehire, you don't have to restart.
Right,
You come back at your same percentage, you come back with the same experience.
yes,
We grandfather all that in. Most trucking companies, if you leave, you come back, you're starting back just like all the other drivers. I think that is amazing. So
yes,
for an example, even for our flatbedders and our heavy haulers, if you moved up in class, you leave, when you come back, you might need to take a quick refresher, but we're gonna maintain you at the class level that you left at. That's big.
yes.
So Kelly, great question. Hopefully I answered that for you. All right, Sam, thanks for calling out to everybody.
Can I say something to Robbie?
Yeah, please.
Good to be back, Robbie. Thank you for having me.
Let me tell you, Robbie, Trish has been awesome to get to reconnect with. So thanks for volunteering, you guys.
Oh, you're
So
welcome.
you guys, I walked into orientation and I said, I'm looking for a couple of volunteers, no script, just want to have we do this ATS live, ask us anything, and nothing could get me in more trouble, but I'll tell you, I love these because we got nothing to hide. And when we say, ask us anything, so you guys have seen it for sure, you did?
Yeah.
So this is what we do every week. And this is really the environment of it, so I hope you get to see that we're really just trying to get the questions out there. I'm begging everybody though, and for everybody watching and for you guys in here, please have folks join this, because if we don't have folks joining it and asking the questions, this stuff gets posted out there live and people can share it, they can look at it later. It doesn't just have to be in the time that we're on the phone here. We'd like to get those tough questions so we can really explain ourselves, if that makes sense.
Yes, sir.
I am gonna ask you guys something. During the orientation process, did it feel like we cut any corners or evaded answering the why behind anything that we had to say? Did you feel that we gave a very full explanation, or did you feel there was every time where it's like, nope, it's not how we do things, or it's none of your business?
No, nothing like
No.
that.
I
Nope,
can't remember anything like that.
good. Okay, good. Well, there you go, Kelly. No, that's just, I don't give a darn if she's male or female. As long as she's got a Class A and she drives safe, right, young lady?
Thanks, Kelly.
No. Hey, and I don't know if you know this, but we actually have a pretty good fleet. You've got quite a few friends within ATS that are female drivers too, don't you?
Yes,
Yeah. And you guys, I don't know if you guys got a separate group or not, but I will tell you, for you, you know that we've got a number of closed groups too for the drivers only. You guys know that already. So we have that other page, but do know that the networking within Anderson, when you were making the comment earlier about, drivers out there helping each other. It's not just if you're with them on a load. You're in Oklahoma and they're in Massachusetts and you got an issue and you throw a message out to the group, there's gonna be tons of drivers coming back to you with suggestions on how to fix the situation you're in.
right.
I mean, of course, going through fleet manager, safety and all of that, but if it's something 2:00 in the morning, it's a minor thing, whatever it is, we take a lot of pride in how our drivers help each other out.
Yeah.
So, all right, so you guys, I think I'm caught up. I'm gonna take a peek real quick. So you guys, anything else, again, you guys are the ones that we're looking for, all right? When I say we're looking for the top 5% of drivers, you're here. You're certified drivers working for Anderson Trucking. For drivers looking or considering ATS, any words of advice as far as your experience, what to pay attention to? Because it's so funny that so many folks just ask, what's the pay, what's the home time? And they don't ask about the other 1,000 things
Right.
that go into it. Anything for sure for the two of you, and I'm not excluding you, but for the two of you, because you've been with us for so long, any of those things about how we operate that really separate us from the rest?
Well, I know my first truck they gave me, I named it Darth Vader.
Oh, boy.
Well, because my buddy told me when I was switching to ATS here that he noticed that they had black trucks, and he's like, "Hey, you could give you a black truck and you're gonna go to the dark side." So, and it was the night one of the new Star Wars movies came out that I got the truck. So, and I had more problems with that truck than any other truck I had when I was with my other company. And I had 3 trucks with them too, but I barely even took them to the shop, except for their regular maintenance and stuff. But here, I mean, I've hardly had any downtime, except for the first one week out of the 4 week that back then it was only $1,000 guaranteed, which was still better than what, I mean, I only worked 1 day that week because my truck was in the shop. But when they do get the truck in the shop, I know there's a lot of companies out there that like to take their time approving the fixes. Here, it gets fixed faster. It gets approved faster.
That it does.
I'm laughing at David's comment, sorry.
Yeah.
David, his stormtrooper.
And then his first truck was also Vader.
Was it really?
Yeah, we were just talking about that earlier.
So I think, to the point you're saying, the memorable part, so you're saying that, did Anderson jump in and correct the problem for you then, or what?
Well, yeah, I mean, it gets fixed, or if I'm out on the road, I mean, I know we're Freightliner dealerships that like taking their time fixing things, but the process of it getting approved was faster. I mean, once they found out the problem and it got sent into them, they approved it and it got fixed with, I don't know how long, depending on what got fixed, but I had a lot of depth problems with Darth Vader.
So during that whole process, so I think we can all agree on this, whether you're doing ATS or been with ATS, we're in the trucking business and things are gonna happen.
Oh, yeah.
Trucks are gonna break down, there's gonna be problems. Bigger concern is when communication starts failing and you're not sure what the plan is. How has communication been as far as just being informed of the plan, what's going on, what's happening financially? Has your experiences been good there?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know, when I got sick and I had to call the night shift, nobody gave me a hassle. It was like, are you okay? Can you get the truck anywhere? And I was like, no, I can't. And so they sent somebody for the truck, got me home, let me have the year off to do what I had to do, you know, the chemo and everything. And here I am back. They welcomed me back with open arms.
So can I ask, how were things when you left? Did they stay in contact with you while you were at home?
They sure did. I got emails all the time from my fleet manager.
Good. Well, we're happy to hear about that, because that is the personal side of it, because it's got nothing to do with the truck making
Right.
revenue.
Right. Oh, it makes revenue now.
Oh, I know, sure does. I bet it does. Hey, so I'm gonna keep going. So you guys have to realize that for me, I keep these things going as long as I got questions coming in. I'm not here to just have you guys listen to me talk for half an hour. So my big goal was to just give you guys the opportunity to tell your story. So any final comments or stories or observations that you'd like the audience to know about?
Come drive for us.
Yeah.
It's a great company.
So I'm supposed to get my first load back tomorrow. I've requested something going back home. I live in Florida. And before I walked inside, a message came through the ELD saying, hey, we're getting you routed back to Lakeland to pick up your stuff. So that alone says the dedication. That was something I was also promised, that I'd get right back home as soon as I can get home to pick up my stuff. I didn't think it'd happen so soon, but message came through today saying, hey, you're going back home, get out, pick up your stuff. So
Yeah,
dedication's here.
When I first started, they did that to me too. They had a load coming out of Chicago, but something went wrong with that. So like they tried to find me another load, but they didn't. So they just told me to bobtail home. I bobtailed over like 400 miles, I think. 3, 4, I don't. That was when I lived in Albert Lee. So I mean.
See, and I live
You can
close
ask me
to a
questions.
Walmart warehouse. So and Anderson does Walmarts.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, I'm 20 minutes from a Walmart warehouse. One of the biggest trucking hubs in the country is Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm 40 miles from there, so it's easy for me to get home through the house and everything.
Yeah, I had to deliver to that Walmart in Charlotte.
Well, we're not gonna talk about our customers either. No, I don't care about talking about Walmart. Everybody hauls for Walmart and Target these days, right?
Actually, I'm on the Target, the dedicated account here in Minnesota. So that's,
Good.
and most of the drivers there are either lease operators or owner operators. So I got a couple of guys that I talk to regularly.
Good.
That help me out.
Good.
That's
That's a question I'd
another
like to
thing
ask
too.
you. What is do you know off the top?
You gotta go on the other side of the screen to ask your
Oh.
question. No, do I know what?
Do you know the ratio of lease op and contractor to employment here?
Oh, 100%. So I don't know to the exact. So probably 2 years ago, we were probably in that 30%, 70% contractors, 30% company. And we're closing that gap to where we'd like to get to about 50-50. And I think we're probably sitting at something like 40-some% company. So the gap is closed. And a lot of that happened though, and the reason is because we started this upside pay program. And so the rates are so good out there right now. And so you're familiar with upside. When we
Well,
changed
actually,
it.
when I went to, then changed that, I was already on the target account when the when the upside started, and I asked about that, it was like, but I'm only on a percentage, cause I'm a dedicated,
Because you're on a project freight, is probably what I'm guessing.
whatever you,
Yeah, so but the upside pays, so what happened is that our company drivers simply made CPM, period. And contractors made percentage. And what we do now is we pay our company drivers either CPM or 28% of the load. And it closed the gap to where they're able to make very good money as well. Contractors, it's always kind of a risk reward type thing. But the trade-off is that the company driver, if the truck goes down, it's the company's problem to go take care of it and so forth.
And it's my problem.
But the company drivers deserve to, well, we're making more money, they should be making more money, and we're trying to push more money into their pockets as well. And I think it's the right thing to do, and the reason I've been here for 31 years is because they tend to do the right thing. So that answer your question?
Yeah, I respect that too.
So, well, you guys, we usually kind of keep these to about 30 minutes because people start zoning off after that. So for the three of you, thanks for just letting me come in this morning to the classroom and asking you for volunteers, and
You're welcome.
all three of your hands went up. And so, everybody, listen, we talk about the three-legged stool. We keep our eye on pay. We keep our eye on satisfying home time requests and treating our drivers with respect. And I'm hoping the three of you are attesting that we do that.
Yes, sir.
yeah.
And we look forward to, if you're interested in Anderson Trucking, drive the number 4 ATS is where we're at. My name is Joe, Vice President of Recruiting here at Anderson Trucking for Drivers. My email is the easiest one there is to remember. It's just joe@atsinc.com. Feel free to give me a call anytime. I'll get you in contact with the recruiting department. You can reach out to recruiting as well. Just driveforats.com. We'll get you directly patched to them right away. So we got a couple of last minute questions coming here. So I say I never get off without looking at it all here.
Turks.
Okay, so Turk still gap. I understand that you and Austin are very good friends. Louis, thank you very much. We're pretty happy about the positivity.
Love to grab me.
If anyone, so Samantha, come on, now they're popping in. If any one of your drivers are still in town tomorrow, I'd love to grab a headshot. Okay, so
let's
that's
do it.
just from our marketing group, and so you guys, Sam, they should all be here, and I'll give you all of the names a little bit later. Louis, thank you so much, you guys. Pretty much I'm gonna say goodnight. So if you're viewing it as a recorded session, thanks for taking the time. Some really good discussions. I really just appreciate the honesty, the transparency, and frankly, the integrity that none of this is scripted, and we're just having just a brief conversation here. So thanks for checking out Anderson Trucking, and we look forward to seeing you guys in the future. We're gonna be changing this to doing this every Wednesday. We're not gonna be doing the 7 p.m.s anymore. We're still waiting for you guys to tell us what is the absolute best time of the day. So we went from 11 o'clock to 5. If this doesn't work, maybe we'll stick to 7 o'clock. We just want to know what the best time for the driver is to be able to participate in these. So thanks for joining us, and have a great, safe evening.